Brimstone is a horror puzzle game set in limbo, where you're neither living nor dead. As a new tenant, you must help trapped souls move on while navigating eerie corridors and solving unique puzzles. You aren't the only one roaming the halls, so planning your every move is essential. We hope you enjoy our game.
Hi, my name is Creature, and I'm part of the art team, as well as the project manager for the Brimstone. I worked on designing the UI, framing and making cutscenes, and creating our enemy for the game, Furcus the Demon. I created most of the 2D assets we use for our main menus, in-game UI, and things like notes, sprites, etc. It was a challenge to ensure all of the UI fit our game theme and story. I really enjoyed the process of modeling the demon character, seeing him go from a simple 2D concept sketch to a ZBrush model, then textured, and then animated by our animators. The cutscenes were fun to create as well, and thanks to the feedback given to us during development, they really help inform the player about how to play the game. I also created a handful of models as well, such as the perfume bottle, book, bookshelves, and newspapers. Overall, I really enjoyed development and learned a lot about user interface, modeling, and using my skills to create cutscenes and interactable objects. Thank you to my team for all of their hard work.
Hey, I'm Nick Seifert, and I was the art lead for the Brimstone. The first few weeks, my main focus was the architecture, so all of the modular walls, floors, and ceilings in the game. That means the lobby and each of the hallways. After that, I moved on to making props. In order to ensure that the art style was cohesive, I also took on the majority of the textures. In front of me are some of the props I created, including some interactables like the piano and the telephone.
Being on the art team, I got to work on modeling, puzzle design, level design, and animating. I modeled all the puzzle props excluding level 1, but I was in charge of designing them. Basically, I was in charge of figuring out how these models were going to look and interact with the player based on how our programmers could set up the code. When it came to the design of the levels and how the puzzles were going to be laid out, I really wanted to make the player have to go back and forth, forcing them to interact with our demon. This makes for a harder game and pushes the player to use our hider door feature. But overall, I learned a lot and I really enjoyed all the props and animations I pushed out for this game, and I'm so excited for all of you to see.
Hi, my name is Alexi Vergres, and I did the rigging and summoning animations for our enemy, Furcus. I also did some 3D modeling at the beginning of the game, such as the front desk bell and elevator. I enjoyed the process of rigging the demon, from him starting out in a stiff T-pose to being able to pose, run, and walk. I did the animation for Furcus when he spawns and despawns. I had a fun time animating the demon, getting feedback from my teammates, and overall learning a lot about rigging, and enjoyed the process of this project.
As a programmer, I worked on quite a bit of the mechanics of our game. However, I want to highlight a few of them. The compass gives useful information to the player about their surroundings and hints at where they can hide. Constantine, the Skull Companion, provides the player with commentary and gives clues at the beginning of each level. Each of the puzzles in our game have been meticulously engineered to make it so each one connects to the next, and they also connect to the lost soul in each level. We have paid very close attention to ensuring that player feedback is there for those who choose to play with or without headphones.
One of our main features we spent a lot of time designing is the main antagonist, Furcus the Demon. When designing Furcus, one thing we kept in mind was the line we wanted him to walk between being a very real and serious threat to the player's progression, but also not being around all the time and appearing inconsistently to make him less predictable. That desire to make him a serious but hard to predict threat influenced a lot of the choices we made when programming all the systems, like when does he spawn, how does he determine his movement path, how and when does he deviate from that path and why, and how does he react to the player doing things like completing objectives or hiding behind doors or other things. We want Furcus to feel as unique as possible when the player interacts with him.
Welcome to the Brimstone Hotel. I'm Constantine, the concierge of this hotel.